January 25th, 2023. We'll get started and do the roll call, please.
Okay, Commissioner Sherman here, Commissioner Bellamo
Here.
Commissioner Stanton. Commissioner Seabrol is not here yet, and Chair Dodgerel.
Present, thank you. And Steve said he might be a little bit late, I understand, so we'll just keep moving ahead. So you have some minutes in front of you, and were also sent to us way back in October. Doesn't seem like forever ago, doesn't it? So anyway, if somebody would like to make a motion to just approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for September, right?
October.
October,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None. Okay. Is there anybody online that wants to talk with us? Darn. Okay. So we're just going to move ahead. We have a fairly short agenda. One of them might take a little bit of time, but we had the candy cane hunt recap, and appreciate all of those who worked on making that happen. I understand we had, I think it was 21 participants. And anecdotally, the office staff said all the kids had a great time and the parents had a great time. So it was a good event. Vincent, thanks for getting those candy canes out.
Yeah,
And
no
all the
problem.
other stuff that happened. Hello, Stephen.
Yeah, I think we only lost one to the weather on that last bad
Present.
windstorm in
Okay,
December. We
yeah.
lost one, but other than that, they all came back and
Good.
I got them all in the car and used zip ties.
All right. We'll probably just store those here upstairs with all the other park and rec stuff. All right. Sprint into spring. I guess the question, first of all, we're going to do it again.
I mean, it went well, and we haven't met since the trick or trot happened, and we had 136 people that actually came. We had 150 something register and 136 came. So it was successful again. So I don't know. Do you guys remember when we did that last year?
The sprint in the spring.
Yeah.
I bet Taryn can look back in minutes maybe and find out when we did that sprint in the spring. It does seem like it's a good event. Stephen, you do a great job in laying everything out, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think if we get something into the water bill this time, that will help with attendance.
And Vincent, you weren't here was that the first thing you did with us? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that was
right.
the
You
first
was the very
Yep.
beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause that one was kids and
Yeah,
adults.
we did a
We
kids
did
one,
it.
and then we had a for money 5K.
a what, 5K?
One where we asked for money.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, and I think the little kids run was just that same little loop, wasn't it,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
we always do there? Okay.
It was March 27th at 2:00.
Yeah. that
What
would've
day of
been
the week
end
was
spring
that?
break.
Is that a Saturday?
I believe it was Saturday, if I
Okay.
recall.
So, I'm actually going to leave the, I guess, the discussion of we're going to have it or not, because I'm terming out of the commission. We'll talk about that here at the end. But I don't want to say, hey, we should do that and then not be here to do it. So I think it was a great event though. So it's open for discussion. If somebody would just kind of want to chime in on maybe when or even if. Trying to bring up my calendar here. Stephen, I think your sense was it was a good thing. We should do it again.
Yeah, and it was actually kind of nice that because we didn't advertise it a ton, I think we had a good number of people for filling out what an event is like when you actually have like adults that are trying to pay some money for it, and it's a little bit bigger with course marking, and there was one turn that apparently needs to be marked a little bit better.
Okay.
We had 2 people miss it.
Taryn, do you have any more details on actually, what did we charge for this event? It's always good to look back.
So the fun run was free and the adults were $15 per person.
Okay. And I remember there was discussion last year, do we give them something for their $15? And if I remember right, that was actually, we were doing that for a fundraiser as well, right? We were helping
Yeah.
fund the,
The
yeah,
park, yeah.
phase 3.
Cause then didn't it get matched or something?
Yeah,
think
we
they
had the grant matching.
Yeah, we got
thing.
that big grant. So that went into the part that then allowed it to be matched. So so we don't necessarily have a project necessarily that it could be a fundraiser for. So if we are doing it, then what do we charge? And do we give shirts out this year? Do we give anything out? Is it just what we do?
Is there something going on March 25th? I don't know what spring break is.
Spring break is the last week of March.
So that would be the Saturday leading up to spring break then, right? Okay.
And also that the 24th before that, instead of it being like a read day for students, is a teacher work day. So it's another day off. So people might leave earlier for spring break. I don't know.
And then the
Yes.
weekend before is the Shamrock Run, so it's,
Mhm.
you don't really want to have a run event.
And then the Saturday after spring break, I guess we usually don't do that because people are usually gone through that day and into Sunday before they go back to school on the 3rd then probably, right?
And you know what? They're actually not going back to school on the 3rd. It's parent teacher conferences. So do you like how I know a lot more now?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You're in the loop now.
I'm in
Yeah.
the loop now. Those 2 days are parent teacher conferences, so I could see some people being like, oh, we'll extend. And not everyone always goes to conferences.
Yeah.
So I could see
yeah.
people extending. But I mean, we have to do it. If we're gonna do it, we have to do it sometime, so.
Yeah, I mean, the weekend, and then what's going on like the weekend before St. Patrick's?
When's that?
The 11th,
The 11th you're talking about?
well,
Yeah.
that's my daughter's birthday party. So I'm out.
And it could also be pushed, I'm guessing if we want to do it to the 8th of April,
Yeah,
which is, I guess the only advantage of that is there's probably a little better chance of good weather.
Mhm.
Last year we had pretty good. We didn't hit any rain or anything last year. Well, we got lucky. and
Yeah,
yeah,
That early in March.
yeah.
yeah. But if we did this Saturday, then
But I bet that the Easter egg hunt and stuff will be on Saturday
Yeah.
and all the other ones will be too.
Well, it sounds like maybe just going with that 25th.
Yep. I would think just do it.
Yeah.
The 25th. Unless people are gonna be gone. You wanna do it 25th?
yeah, I'd say the 25th.
March 25th. Any other comments on that date? 2 PM, a good time again?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you want to do the free fun run and then the was it a 5K again that we did?
Yeah.
Since that we have longer, what do you think about like shirts or something for the 5K?
Yeah, it would be nice to do that this time. And if we can do the thing where people order, like you can, we only
If
do
I can-
shirts for like pre-registers.
And we could do a few extra.
And then like, yeah,
So we can do like how I've been doing the sign up before with the Google form. And so that can be one of the questions.
yeah.
So we could fill it out.
yeah.
And then we could have like, if you register by X, like shirt guaranteed if you register by X date.
Right.
And I don't know how much time ahead we would need to get them printed.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that,
Let's
about
look
shirt
at-
stuff.
Well, we have here in Estacada, what's Sarah Lake's company?
I think,
She's-
isn't it just lake printing or something like that? Something
So I
easy.
think the
Yeah.
turnaround would be pretty quick as long as we had the design tour. And then, yeah. So I guess if we go that route, there are a few things, I can actually check with Sarah and find out the turnaround time. As far as, it's,
And then do we want to do like cotton t-shirts or tech shirts since it's a running event? Like a shirt you would actually run in. You wouldn't want to run in cotton.
I mean,
cotton stuff shrinks up so bad. That's just a personal.
Right.
I don't know.
I know for search and rescue, we get stuff made all the time, so I could also ask someone if they have good. They seem to get us decent techwear for cheap.
Okay, if you want to check that, and then I can also check with Sarah Lake as far as how much she can get shirts for through her suppliers, and we'll just do some comparing there. Are we charging $20 if we're giving a shirt out, or is just stick at 15? We're not trying to raise money. I think at this point, the goal would be to cover our costs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, I mean, I think the idea with this shirt is to, people would pay extra for the shirt when they register. So they don't have to get a shirt,
Okay.
but then maybe we do like, $10 seems to be an easy one because that's what that slot thing is too. So if someone shows up day of, they can just use the tip jar thing.
We can change that amount to anything. so.
Okay.
How did we do that last year with them paying? Because I didn't do a Google form for that then. I did Google form for Trick or Trot. How did they pay for the run?
I feel like it was through PayPal, maybe, or
We just have to pay ahead of time.
yeah, they paid through a link or something. 'Cause I remember money coming through PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it wasn't, that's the one that we, didn't we ask Jordan to help us with, and he created that for us? Jordan Winthrop,
Yeah, I think so.
Enterprises.
If we're not looking to make a profit, it would just be like by donation so that it's open-ended, and then if you wanted a t-shirt, it
Yeah.
would be like pay extra for a t-shirt just to make it more available for anybody.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted to donate, they could go to, I
Mhm.
don't know, a program someplace.
Yeah, we could do like a suggested donation and, yeah, and then people can tip jar in person too if they want.
If they want the shirt, I guess we could get prices on the shirt first of all, and then
Yeah.
we'll know actually. They do pay a specific amount for the shirt then.
Yeah, and that's not unusual for a lot of races. I mean, it's only like the really big ones where it's just like anyone that registers gets a shirt. And then they usually charge more for it. I mean, the base price for a race like that is usually higher. But a lot of smaller ones will do that where they just say that when you register, you just say that if you want a shirt or any merch or anything like that, they'll charge for it.
So we'd have to see if Jordan could set that
Yeah.
up for us then again, because that's over my,
So I can check with Jordan and Sarah Lake. We're gonna need the shirt to look like something. Kaliki, you wanna make something for the shirt?
or maybe you're amazing. So I can't believe you have this shirt. Congratulations to your son, by the way. I was gonna tell you, look.
He designs the license plate.
Oh, really?
the
Really?
license plate that's coming out right now, yeah.
Oh, that's
Isn't that cool?
They've got 6 or 2,700 people signed up already, so they just need 3,000, then I'll go to print.
See a lot of good feedback about that license plate. A lot of people actually really want that one. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he designed, so yeah, he could, I could design something, but he probably would do better. He's
All right.
like Far more artistically talented than I am, but I could design a shirt if we had like a theme or whatever.
Well, the theme is sprint into spring.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're gonna.
It
keep the
just
same
says like
name.
estacada sprints into spring. I don't know.
Um,
Did you want to make them like year specific, like
Nope.
2023?
Yeah.
Or
Nope.
no, just,
Nope.
Just generic.
okay,
Yeah.
'Cause then we can keep them for another time.
right.
That's my opinion. Okay.
Just change colors of the shirt that you get each time.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
see,
true.
there you go.
So we have a date and a time. Make a donation, but we'll charge for the shirt. And so what will come back with the next meeting is Jordan Winthrop and his ability to help us with all the registration. And then Kalika, you could come back with some sort of image that's going on the shirt that we can approve. And then I'll check with Sarah Lake on price of shirts, and Stephen, you can come back with shirts we could get from wherever you have a resource. And I think the running type shirt might be, I would prefer that. I think that'll probably be more expensive, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we probably want, if there's time, I mean, there should be, whatever artwork we use on the shirt, we should put into the flyer that we add to the mailer.
so Taryn, can you plan ahead and make sure this goes in the water or the building that goes out prior to this in what day of the month do those go out?
Like usually we usually like them by the 20th of the month.
That's when they go out.
That's when we submit them around that time to the printer. But
So
they
That's-
go out, they receive them in the mail the first week of the month, essentially.
So then these need to,
That would.
they actually go out in
The
February then.
yeah, so by February 20th.
Okay.
To
We
have
don't need
the
to get
flyer
until
ready.
Okay, so because our meeting is after that date, we will need to do a lot of communication online. Just email back and forth. Maybe you could submit that image.
Yeah.
Just talk about some prices. I think we're allowed to do that because the decision has been made to do the run, so now we're just working out the details. Okay. Anything else on that?
Nope.
So we did do ribbons last year for the kids when they finished too. They were just like those little, like, congratulations, or I don't remember what they said. I think we still have some. Somewhere. I think they're here. Pretty sure. But, and I think there's still like a decent amount, so I don't know that we would need any more, but if we have them, we can.
Good.
Give them out to the kiddos.
Karen, I'm assuming you got all those details so that we remember what we need. Okay, thank you. All right, if there's nothing else on that, the West Decatur update.
Yeah, so, yeah, I basically have all the pieces done. There's a CMS for it. There's a little API that reads in data. I have a front-end website that's fun to play with and works on phones and everything really well. We just need to fill it up with stuff. This meeting is probably not is too short for the scope of that, but it would be nice to like sometime. I sent a message out
Right.
or an email out. It would be nice to meet up sometime, or I can even just dive in and start categorizing things a little bit more, but it'd be good to just get a little more some suggestions based on everyone's experience of like how to categorize things. There are a lot of things to do around here, and it's like it becomes, when you look at the river, there's like a million things you can do on it. So it's like it's hard to know what to. I guess I just want to kind of check what's good to group together on that, or is there just like there's a river section with a bunch of things to do, or do we split that up more? And
So it could be like a river section and then a park section
yeah,
or a history section, something like that, or
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I guess what I'm trying to figure out is how granular to get with it. So it's like if we're thinking that like in each section there's like 5 activities to go out and do, you don't want to make it too overarching, because if you just say river, well, it's just there's more than 5 categories of things you can do inside of that. So, so if we're just doing like 3 to 5 activities, it might be something to do with paddling. It could be something to do with swimming, something like that. So.
Okay, so keep fleshing that out, maybe just for me, maybe everybody else kind of up to speed on that. So they'll access this on their phones
Yeah.
through some sort of a QR code or something, or an app from this park website, or
Yeah, so the website itself is actually agnostic of anything that's happening out in the world, but then we can drive people to the website through things that are out there in the real world, and like a QR code that's out, at a certain location would open up the activity. It's like there's an activity that you can do here that you can log. So it'll be like you go to the spot, and if you scan it, it opens the site to that thing that you could do right there. And then yeah, so it's like there's some of them are more obvious, like if you just think of like run and ride, it's like here's just like some places to run around here that are really nice. Or I guess hiking can kind of go in there too. Cycling is like people come from all over to go cycling out here, so it's like there's these great cycling routes that range from little things that you can do like with kids up to 100+ mile things that you can do like pretty much right in town, and just going up and down the hills around here. And then geocaching is an interesting one that I definitely want to get in there. There's a bunch of geocaches, and geocaching started like a few miles from here.
Right.
That's the original one. So it's like you basically have these categories. However you get into it, whether it's like shared online or you come across one and things in real life, that's kind of just like that gets you into it. And then as you look at these sections, there's these sort of like missions that you can go on, and it's just like it talks about an activity that you can do, and then there's some specific things that you can go and try, and some resources. So like for river stuff, you'd be like Clackamas River Outfitters, and points to some things that are around that. As you do them, you can log them, and then it will save all of that stuff to your account. But I'm not doing like a password thing. I'm just doing like, if you want to come back in and see it later, I'm just doing email and phone. It's just like when you connect it to email or phone, you get a cookie set that never expires. So for most people, it's going to be like you log in on your phone one time and you'll never have to log in again until you get like a new phone.
Yeah.
Just make
Okay.
it super easy, no passwords. Yeah, and then as you log these things, there's going to be like this. I have this view where you can go to, and then it's basically just shows all the things that you've done that you can share out. And then the goal is just do as many of these things as possible and kind of build up your trophy case that you can share around. So it just kind of turns everything into like something fun to do. And then parks would be part of it too. And then we could think of things to do, like fun things to do that drive you to each park.
So what's the best format for us to kind of sit down and brainstorm that? How do you want to do that?
I think it's probably best to start with just sort of a brain dump of all the things you can do, just like both categorically and like specific things. So it's like, and just get a list of everything, because there's probably things that, there's plenty of things that I don't do that other people do, and vice versa. And it'd be good to just kind of get that whole breadth, and just be like, and then where do you do that around here, and how do we turn that? How do we take that whole thing and just kind of organize it out and turn that into some like specific things for people to do? That would be fun.
And the things to do, you're thinking about active things, not shopping things.
Right. So
Okay.
yeah, and I am keeping in mind that it's like not everyone, there's like such a range of abilities for everyone. So that's another element of this too, is like what in each one of these, there needs to be something that like anybody, literally anyone can do inside of that category. I know for some things like cycling and running or something that are on by themselves might exclude some people, but for the most part, there's like, what can a little kid write on to, like, it's like, hey, did you know that there's like actually these like really amazing like nearly world-class routes out here that you can go on, kind of thing.
Okay.
And just do the range.
So for like category wise, you were thinking like either like maybe the category is like the place of interest and then all like they could be like, oh, like you have MacGyver, Wade Creek, whatever, and then it clicks on it and then from there it takes you to the activities. And or would it be like the activities are the things you like, if you want to do bird watching, you click on like the bird watching, it would say, oh, you can go to MacGyver, you can go here, you can go there, you can go there. So it's less like duplication.
Yeah, and that's that's the thing. I think like once we get a look at like what all that is, then how we want to build that hierarchy will kind of come from that information. So, it might, we'll want to determine, does it make the most sense to do things by area or to do things by category? Because some of the things send you a little further out,
Yeah.
like, like with the geocaching one, it's like, there are a bunch right in town, and one of the missions could even be just like find the 5 that are in this like small block radius. There's one at this park over here, and then it's like, go find the original, which is, a little further out. And same thing with riding. It's like you start here and you start at there's a lot of rides and like these big routes that people come out and do all the time that all start from the bike plaza.
So like if there's a QR code on MacGyver's sign, they go to scan it. It just automatically takes them, it accesses the website, right? It doesn't like
Yeah.
specifically go to a certain page, like, oh, this is MacGyver and this is what you can do here.
Right. So the intention of things that we'd put in the real world is to actually take you to the activity that you can do right there. So it's kind of like, it's like you just came to a spot where you can do this right now, and then it's kind of like, so it's like you have a chance of doing your first one and then it kind of gets you into that system.
Yeah.
So at MacGyver or like at Timber Park, like we have, these 2 disc golf courses that are right here. And so it makes sense to include disc golf in this. It's like a big thing out here. And so and the activities around that, even though there's only 2 places, it could be like, play one round, it's more like the size of the game or like get I don't know any of the terminology. So
Yeah.
if it's a basket in one or something like that, like I have no idea.
You don't do
No
disc golf?
disrespect to the people who play it.
It's a good game.
It looks fun. I'm always running through the course.
Right.
I have only so much time.
I only fish next to it and it's just funny because it's like MacGyver's such a well-known disc golf course because it's like a nationally,
Yeah.
like they have a national competition there, like tons of people, like it's interesting. But so it sounds like mostly we just need to do the list activities and then figure out how we want to categorize it.
Yeah, we just start with get all the noise out, just like all the activities, all the places we like to do them, and that are still what most people would call estacada, and then bundle, and then start kind of grouping those things together and see how they all fit.
Interesting.
Well, we could do some of that right now and just start brainstorming. I mean, we have some time because we only have one other agenda item.
Yeah.
And Taryn can type really fast, or it's being recorded so she can get it later, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like running, riding, paddleboarding. It's like this immediately comes to mind. That's what I do the most out here.
Yeah.
It's disc golf,
The fishing,
fishing, for sure.
and the rafting or kite, yeah. the
Water sport.
paddleboard, up the river, the white water stuff.
Yeah,
because
and so that's an interesting one because you've got the upper and you've got the clock down here too. And the kind of cool thing about it, and then you also have Estacada Lake. And this one is kind of an interesting one to do because it's like you've got full on whitewater, you can go on an inner tube, like a cheap inner tube down here,
Yeah.
or the water can be flat, and you kind of get your layers of
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
So of just get on the water, just float on the water.
Yeah.
So just rafting / floating.
So again, just the trails or hiking, I don't know if that's what you had in mind in running trails, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking all the hiking trails out of the surrounding parks. Eagle Fern Park has a trail, Metzler Park has a trail. really nice trail system through there.
And then obviously parks.
You could do like in like the same sense of like bird watching, but like go, not like find animals, but like go see a bald eagle, like
Yeah,
flying on the river or something like that, like a specific animal, like go watch the salmon spawn or something, you could always do stuff like that.
yeah, just wild, like wildlife viewing.
Yeah.
And I think they call it birding.
I'm not a birder, but.
Yeah.
I've worked- They're birding.
That's funny. I just had a surgeon. He's like an avid bird watcher.
Hmm.
Do not use that term.
He corrected you, huh?
Right.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Mhm.
There's all the equestrian stuff. I don't know. It's not like
Oh, right.
that's
Yeah.
not very accessible to most people, but it is
Yeah,
quite a bit. It's a big activity out there.
I wish it was more, like, I wanna. We have been wanting to take the kids horseback riding and it's like, we don't know where to do it around here, like where to find someone that
Would
like
take
rents
you.
horses or
Yeah,
anything, you know,
they
like.
used to
Yeah.
do that more. I used, for my birthday, my parents used to take me, that was, and I, like, I don't think there's places that do that. I think it's
Yeah.
liability.
Then I guess I'm thinking,
Oh, the skate park, just
yeah,
things you can do around that. I mean, there's parks, but then it's like. If you go from the skate park kind of out to skateboarding and.
right. Because again, I think just the parks in general, there's, as you know, there's a bunch of tucked away parks that, you know, would be kind of an adventure just to find them.
I had an interesting time finding that park that's
The one that's
in that
the middle.
neighborhood.
The
It's
other,
like, we drove past it like 3 times and me and my wife were looking at it, we're like, that's the entrance? And then we saw the sign and I was like, oh, okay.
I know
Challenge.
know how to get right there. It's my son and I have the thing that we do now where we run up and down the hill to that park from home.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that a lot where it's like. It's like a little over 2 miles round trip. So that's like our big.
It
big
becomes
once a
the
week we go up there.
destination. Anything else coming to mind?
I mean, yeah, but besides like the other like small, like the other, like the horseshoes at Wade Creek or like the other like built-in activities at the parks.
Yeah, but that would be more of like, it's like, I definitely will have a park section and then we kind of like want to point out some like unique things to do there.
Yeah.
Because even in the new phase 3, there's actually some exercise equipment that's back
Oh, yeah.
along the backside. That could kind of be like do 25 rows or something.
Yeah.
Are you putting like trailhead like information for like up into the forest at all? Like go look at like this trail out in the forest? Are we like going that far out?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are some of the activities that do that, but they have a more. They have a deeper connection to town. So like, even if you're going to Whitewater, like,
Like the hot springs, like would like go see the hot springs or something? Like, are you putting like something like that far out?
that's it. See, I probably not, because I think even with like Whitewater rafting upriver, it seems like it's way up there, but you kind of have to come here first, and
Mhm.
because of you have like CRO and you have like a lot of people meet up here. This is kind of like your gateway into that.
Yeah.
And I have wondered about like some of the off-roading stuff, even, like Lottie Flats, whatever, but because a lot of people, they all kind of congregate here. So that one's sort of like borderline.
So I don't
Yeah.
know, obviously another attraction is just the dams. That's not really an activity, but
That's more accessible though.
Yeah.
could be
for
a
other-
destination, yeah. Yeah, we got the dam right here and then Faraday up there and,
And that is the world's longest fish ladder.
yeah.
I just found that out.
Really?
Yeah.
There's all the murals that people come up around and look at.
Yeah. Murals. Civic engineering.
You could do like up on the hill, you could like stargazing. I know a lot of people go out there with like telescopes and because it's so clear and stuff.
Yeah.
Like up in the hill.
Yeah, the Portland, the Rose City astronomers do stuff out of McIver all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a bit of a start.
Yeah. No, that's a good start for sure. And that's the thing, the way that I built it too, is that it's like, we've got room for a lot of stuff, and it's like the way that things kind of slide in and out. It makes it so that like, and you know, each one is gonna, it's like these titles that have these sort of like little wave graphics behind them that are actually like very slowly animated, and they go through different colors, but it makes it so that it's like, you can stack these things up pretty high and keep scrolling, and without it ever looking like too crazy. And it actually works, it works better if you have at least like 10 things on there.
Were you thinking about putting like our event, like the trick or trot, the spring thing on there?
So and that's the thing, like as far as like running goes, there's some little, for each one of these things, I think there's like this kind of supporting information and resources and stuff. There are a bunch of races that happen here. There's the Vortex half marathon, there's the Best Damn Run, and then there's the ones that we have. So it's like you can kind of, it's like, I think there's something to, here's some fun things that you could do around here. Go run these routes. It could be like, do the track on the weekend all the way up to like, you know, there's like these really great, there's a ton of great places to run out here. And then you could just kind of point to like like events that happen throughout the year.
And I like, Adam, like, I like, you know, video games stuff, you know,
Yeah.
so like they track the total number of trophies there are.
Yeah.
And like, you can tell people like how many people have actually gone and done it. Like, you're like, oh, you're part of like the 3% who
Yeah.
went out and stargazed at the top of the hill or something like on the website. That'd be pretty cool.
What about like you pick places, whether it's lavender or blueberries?
That's a good
or
idea.
Christmas tree farms that you
Yeah,
could do, you
totally.
cut pumpkin patches, all the different agriculture stuff.
And then we can have weight trophies. Go pick 5 pounds of blueberries.
Good idea. I didn't think about that. So, because probably I'm the least technology guy here, let me just explain what I'm hearing you say about what this is. So you can access this Questacata website, and we'll access that from maybe the city website, or there'll be a link from the Parks and Rec website.
Mhm.
Okay, and then you open that up, then you'll see all these different locations you could go to. And then from there, once you got to a location, there's another, like you mentioned, the QR code that you could scan at these different locations, and it kind of gives more details of what to do.
Well,
Say that.
it's not exactly the flow. I mean, so if you just go to the website, like if you linked from somewhere else, you would just go to the home, and then whether we're going to determine how we categorize these things, but you would basically, however we organize it, you're going to see like categories of things to do or places to go.
On the
And
home.
yeah, and then you can, when you go into those, it'll be like, it'll be a little bit of a blurb about that activity. And then there will be like some little missions where it's like
Okay.
things that you can actually do. And when you go to do one, I have it set up, there's like this little checkbox thing. If you check it, you can basically, when you log it, you can add a photo from it and write a little description of when you did it. And so
Okay.
it's, you're logging all these
Cool,
activities.
okay.
If you, and then you get additional resources and things that point back to the community, any events, stuff like that. The idea of having the QR codes out in the real world, those are meant, so it's like there'd be a QR code that's like, if we have, there's a disc golf one, for example, at Timber Park. If you go to Timber Park and you're at the first hole, we could have a QR code there. And if you open it up, like someone's going to go play disc golf and they notice this and then they open it up, it takes them to that mission on the website. It opens it right to it, and then it'll say like, here's the whole thing about disc golf and here's some things you can do. Someone's about to play disc golf, so they're like, okay, I'll play and I'll try to do all these things, and then they can like log them right there. But, and then once they're in the website, then they can see everything. But it's just a way of driving people in, and then, so it's, the QR codes are just opening the website to a specific page for the activity that you can do at that place. They won't, maybe, I think each section should have at least one QR code out in the world, but not necessarily every single event. Like, it'd be weird to go way up the clock and then also find one. And, but it wouldn't be so weird to go to like, to put one out in front of like CRO and then get like stuff about the river or, or any of the places where they put their sheds. Like,
Okay, good. I don't know how you did all that, but that's cool. Thanks for putting the effort in, kind of.
a lot of this.
That'll be really great. Anything else on that? So Stephen, moving ahead then, as you continue to work on that, I guess you bring it back and we'll kind of give more input, and then
Yeah,
once
So-
we're ready to launch it, that's something we would just try to get as much promo as we can on it.
yeah. And then the way that it's hosted and stuff too, it's actually technically already there. I just no one knows what the URL is. So.
All right.
Did you want to do like a Google Doc where we put it out like in categories and start adding stuff and then see what happens?
Yeah, so I just wrote down everything, and I'll add this, I'll start a doc that has that in it and then share it out, and then we can all just go in and make some notes.
Perfect.
Yeah, and for each of these things we just took down, it'd be nice to be like, I'll put it in like a bulleted list, and then we can just do little sub items that are just like ideas for specific things to do around each one.
It's exciting. Yeah. Thanks again. All right, last agenda item says vote on chair and vice chair. So my term is up in March, and because of my other life that I have, I can't re-up for this again. So that means a couple of things. We're gonna need a new chair. And it'd be good to vote on this now, anticipating me leaving in March. But I would think even at our next meeting, the new chair can lead the meeting. So it means that, but it also means it'd be good for you guys to invite some people to put in an application for this spot. We have deadlines for that sort of thing, don't we? Sometime in March, probably. Or is it February?
Well, she told me to tell you guys to apply before January 31st.
Okay, so who all has to re-up?
You and Steven,
And already.
but you, yeah,
Okay, you replied, okay.
Yeah.
The rest
but
of them,
anybody else, yeah, I mean, anybody can apply and you can get multiple
Yeah.
people.
okay. So if you have some other folks that you think might be helpful on this team, have them apply through the city website, right?
Yep, through our
Okay.
page on the city website, Parks and Rec page. And also a good thing to maybe think about is this used to be a 7-person commission, so if there's a lot of interest, it could be something to go back to, having 7 people here.
Good.
Yeah, I saw it posted on Facebook. I didn't see if people had written anything yet,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that might get some.
Sadie gets those applications, so I don't know how many people have put one in, but.
So spread the word for that, and thank you, Stephen, for re-upping again. I appreciate that. So I just think we've over the last few years created a lot of neat events with the trick or trot and the spring and the candy cane hunt. Whether those keep going indefinitely will be up to the committee, but I think there's a lot of good things happening here. Certainly had to wade through all of the water park, Campanella Park stuff. That was a little heavy, but I think we got through that. So anyway, I think there's a lot of great things happening. And so with that in mind, would anybody like to nominate somebody for the chairman?
I nominate Gina for chair. You're not gonna do it? The most experience.
I do, but I
You have all the experience and wisdom and all of that.
can stay vice chair if you would like me to be there. Sorry.
Okay, we do have somebody for vice chair then. All in favor for Gina being vice chair, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Only those of us that wanted to be the chair oppose that.
Can you describe what the roles of the chair are beyond just being a commissioner?
Well, obviously leading the meetings, and just kind of initiating that. That does take some between meetings discussion with Taryn and some other city staff about what needs to be on the agenda. And they're very good. They email me and say, hey, what do you want on the agenda? And they give some things from previous minutes that they know need to be on there. So it's just kind of moving things ahead, and probably even certainly in a better way that I have, being far enough ahead that we don't feel like we're always kind of needing to be behind the eight ball to make these things happen. So it's just kind of looking ahead where we need to go. Good communication with the staff. Yeah, that's about it. It's not beyond, obviously, any of your ability to do it. It's really about kind of the margins you have to be able to step into something like that. If you have a little more space.
It's up to you guys, but I probably have the most time. I'm the youngest person, you know, you guys have much more experience. If you have the time and experience, that's great. I was like, I probably have the most time. I don't know how much free time you guys have. You guys have kiddos and stuff, so.
Then I nominate Vincent.
I would second the nomination.
All right. Vincent, I think you do a great job. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah.
And obviously, I know you're newer, but yeah, time is definitely the key thing. But during the transition to chair, feel free to call on us to
Yeah.
for history on things. After all, you are the chair, you know, we should be responding to.
So Taryn, so he'll step into this seat, and then if you can just communicate with him, and then I still will be on this through our February meeting and through our March meeting. Can you confirm that, or is it just the February meeting?
I will confirm that.
Okay.
I feel like it's March, but
Okay.
I'll double check and let you know.
All right. Thank you. All right. I appreciate the opportunity to work with all of you guys. It's been a lot of fun. And again, I think we've done a lot of good things for the city. I think it's been really good. So gotta be good. Anything else anybody wants to bring up?
I had one question about calendar stuff. Were we going to be doing art in the park? And if we are, should we be looking at a time or date for that so that it doesn't sneak up?
Good job, Kalika. Can you look, Taryn, when we did art in the park? Because I know that there were a lot, like, they loved that. So many of the
Yeah, that had a
kids that
good
did it. And
turnout. And if we had a little bit more time or like
Mhm.
making sure that it was timed with other city events or not timed with other events,
Yes.
it would be good to just get that on the calendar.
Looks like May 14th. From 11 to 2.
So we have May break this year,
That's right. Yep.
which is that weekend. It is the break is the 15th through the 19th, are the days that are off. But Friday is like a read day, so kids really don't have school except for a few of them on the 12th. So like technically for a lot of them, it starts that day, and actually for me it does too, because I'm going somewhere. So I will not be here then.
Down to,
Are you?
Yeah.
We're going to Hawaii.
yeah, nice.
So if it was to happen in May, we would just push that a little bit further, right?
Yep.
To this, let's see, we're looking at Saturdays.
Maybe like the 27th even, because the 20th is still part of that break. I won't be back.
27th is part of Memorial Day.
Okay.
And I don't know if that matters, but if they have that whole week off prior, I don't know.
True.
So we think May 29th is Memorial Day, probably then.
We could do it earlier, like this May 6th. so that it doesn't run into holiday weekends and graduation and everything else.
Yeah, because that's when, because then I was thinking, oh, like the first week of June, but that is at graduation starts, all that stuff starts happening.
May 6th? Eleven to 2.
So last time it was too long, 11 to 2. The kids were like dying and a lot of them started packing up. How did we do it? 11 to 2, 11, 12, 1, 2. We did. And I think we said it should have been like 11 to 1.
Okay.
Do you guys remember this?
I wasn't there the
Yeah.
whole time, but it wasn't great weather either.
It was on and off.
It
It's
was,
right.
it was,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just-
but it wasn't
started,
like, let's hang out all day and have a picnic and play. It was
Yes.
like, you went with.
but it was
Yeah.
like, we were really busy in the beginning. Like there was a lot of people there, different people had different schedules and would come at different times. But like the kids that were selling were just like sitting there for 2 hours. And then like the third hour, a lot of people left before. It's like we stayed the whole time and there were some people who came and like a bunch of the kids had already gone home. So I think we should make it 2 hours instead of 3. That's just,
Yeah, I agree.
That would it be better if it was earlier so that it's done before like lunchtime so that kids aren't.
10
having
to,
to-
10 to 12,
lunch.
maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think the start time was fine. So, I mean, I think 11 to 1.
11 to 1. Yeah, and we're going into softball land this year, so I don't know what that I think that's going on during that time. So I don't know what that will look like for us. As far as me being there the whole time and helping, but I think 2 hours is definitely better for the kiddos that are selling. There was some cool stuff last year. It was neat.
Yeah. So again, this is something we'd want to have, again, if we could, in the water bills that go out. And so you created all the visual stuff for that last year. You did a great job. So I don't know if you just want to do that again. And
And just change the date.
when did we, gosh, it's really vague to me. This was a free thing, wasn't it? They could just sign up
They
and do
just
it?
signed up
Yeah.
here. They brought like their little registration to say what they were selling.
All right. Same as last year then, 1 hour shorter. Okay.
And we can talk to the art commission too. And I don't know, is Nicole McMerrick still on the arts commission? Okay, her daughter's in my class. So I talk to her regularly. I can see, because they brought and did like the buttons that the kids got to make, and they had some paint stuff that was cool
Okay.
too. So we can talk to them. I can reach out to her.
Okay, good. And then if it is a wet event, there's, I think, 4 pop-ups here at the city hall that can be put up for those that don't have something as well.
Actually, I see she's not on there anymore.
Oh, really?
She must have left. when I
We'll see
was
if she wants to join
gone.
the Parks Commission.
And Brent, your term does end the 31st of March.
Okay,
You'll still be
So you'll be here for this,
Okay.
spring to spring.
there.
that'd be great. That'd be great. I'd be glad to help.
Karen, can you email me contact information for the art commission people?
Yeah, I'll send you Deborah Vendetta. She'd be a good one from the
Okay.
library.
Did you say Deborah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's the one that helped us quite a bit with the trick or trot. She had the stuff down at the trick or trot that one year.
She's at the library all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know who this is.
Okay. Thank you, Kalika, for bringing that up. So I guess maybe this is just a reminder for all of us. It's something, I don't know when you want to do it, but Vincent, as you kind of take the charge, there probably should be, whether it's an additional meeting or maybe our next meeting, just looking for the whole year and actually kind of what are the goals? What do we want to try to do, even as far as events, or even if it needs to be a little more granular, do we want to set goals for these events? Just so we can have that in front of us. And I think that's something we also pass on to the city council so they kind of see what we're headed towards. So we don't, yeah. All right. Anything else?
I guess just real quick, one thing that came from this commission was when Chris and I went and looked
yeah.
to try to do some bike trails. or look up trails to do in the new developments. So Brenna actually got to talk to, who was it again?
Well, Melanie was in the meeting
Yeah.
and, it's a guy that the engineer, I think, that's helping with the active transportation plan.
Yeah, that's what it
being-
was. So there's an active transportation plan, and it was just kind of cool because with the fruits of that little mission and just wanting to do something with that seems to actually like they're coming to
Right.
bear. So that's good. And then if there's anything, I don't know if they need any more input than that. But
Oh, I think the point of that meeting, and thank you for reminding me, I meant to bring that up, is the transportation, this active transportation plan is developed and we actually have the parks in the plan. Then when we go out for funding in the future, it says, oh, now we need some money to do a little section of the park. It's more apt to happen because it's in the plan instead of us just saying, hey, we now have an idea that has never been in anybody's plan and we want money for it. So, so Melanie or Taylor, I think it was Taylor, reached out to me. Taylor's one of the planners here in the city and said, hey, we remember you guys were talking about trails. Let's get that in the plan. And so I'm sure they'll contact us when there's some more input they need from us as far as developing those. Yeah. So thanks to you and Chris for doing all the hiking to make that happen.
yeah, and it's good to know that finally made it into the right hands.
Yeah.
And that we even have our little drawings of possible mountain bike trails in there. So
All right. That'd be
who
good.
knows? Hopefully.
Good. Yet another good thing that happened over the last few years. Thank you for your part in that. All right. If there's nothing else, let's adjourn. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.